Have to be the sentimental favourite on race number 4. She was odds of about 2 to 1. She has got a big weight today of 57, but as you can see, she's a big stamp of a filly. And there she's $1.40, that's number 1. $7.70 for number 2, A Little Kiss. French Gypsy at $8.55. I'll only go for those in the market. $8.75 for Gamine. Let's go down to number 7, Ockle Tree, still at $2.15. Number 8, Quartz's got out to $3.20. Down to number 11, La Tristia, $9.30. And that's the only other horse under $10. Graham Kelly and Peter Donegan, I think Tristan Art from where I'm sitting looks at pretty good odds. They're about 16 or 17 to 1. Gamine, $8.55. Let's go down to Palace News is $10.75 from Colin Hayes' stable. Ockle Tree, that other Sydney filly, owned by the Inghams at $2.15. Bob Ingham, I should say. Courts are $3.15. John Singleton's horse, pretty big odds there. Gibbo Sunshine Sally.
Yeah, out of Lady Genevieve. He told me to make sure I say that.
Okay.
It's important to you. I don't know why.
He must own the mare. La Tristia, number 11's at $9.30. Queen Genevieve's at $19.60 and Hermoso at $28.75. But they're almost set. Let's join Dan Malicki and John Letts for the Wakeful Stakes.
Brilliant race, some marvellous horse flesh in this race, John, including Tristan. Didn't she look fantastic?
She looked magnificent. She was that relaxed in the mounting yard. She's the most relaxed 3-year-old filly I've seen on a racetrack for a long time. I think she just knew she was out there and she knows the crowd loves her. And, oh, gee, if you'd have backed her and you hadn't seen her before you backed her, you'll be happy you did. Another horse, Dan, that looked very well in the race too was a horse called La Tristia. Another one of the Bart Cummings trained 3-year-old fillies, and she looked magnificent as well. I've actually tipped Bart to Quinella the race. I think if there is an upset, it could be La Tristia.
Well, he's just going so well lately, and he's going for his 3rd winner of the day. They're set to go for the Wakeful. Siljanella is scratching 2,000 metres. A great field of 3-year-old fillies. Most will back up in the Oaks on Thursday. Light on, and they're away. Golly's Girl, the outsider, slow, and so too was Blue Music, a daughter of the Melbourne Cup runner-up. My Blue Denim missed the start, 8 lengths. Now, Gamine was one of the best out from Sunshine Sally, A Little Kiss, and Hermoso. Tristan, Hasty Departure going up wide. Then Palace News, La Tristia, Oakle Tree up a lot closer today, and then Queen Guinevere. Over on the inside was French Gypsy, and going around her, Pure Talent, followed by Plush Marie, and wider on the track was Senshu, 2.5 to Golly's Gal, Grand Fun, and Courts is back in last, placing outside Blue Music after missing the start. Going towards the 1,400 metres point, and La Tristia leads, wants to pull and reef a bit, but leads about 3/4 of a length. Palace News and Michael Clark went up second, a length away, Hasty Departure. Then came Sunshine Sally, going around her, the favourite Tristan A length away, Hermoso, Gamine the rails, a length further back, A Little Kiss on the inside of Queen Guinevere. Followed by Oakle Tree, and going around them now was Pure Talent, La Tristia. A length further back in the field then to Senshu, going up on the outside of Delmator. A length and a half to Golly's Gal. It's on the inside of French Gypsy. 2 lengths to Blue Music, Grand Fun. And Courts the last of all, and must be about 20 lengths off the lead. They've got about 800 metres to go, and Hasty Departure is taken over by a length. The 2 stablemates, 2nd and 3rd. Tristan are outside La Tristia. Then Palace News, followed by Gamine. Back behind those horses, Hermoso making a run. Sunshine Sally on the inside, then A Little Kiss and Oakle Tree. Queen Guinevere around the outside, well back in the field. French Gypsy taken wide, and she's starting to run on. Around the turn in the Wakeful, 5:50 to go. Hasty Departure under pressure, leads into the straight by a length. Coming at it, La Tristia and Tristan are. Gamine 4 wide, but under the stick from wide. A Little Kiss got a run up on the inside, then Sunshine Sally. Queen Guinevere into the clear from Hermoso. 350 metres to go. A Little Kiss got up on the inside. The grey comes out of Tristan A. Down the outside, running on fairly well. Queen Guinevere from Hermoso. A Little Kiss in front, but Tristan A sprints ever so quickly. Tristan A goes up to A Little Kiss, and what a great mare she's going to be. Tristan A, she's the favourite for the Oaks. Wins by a length the Wakeful from A Little Kiss, and 3rd La Tristia. They were followed in by Oakle Tree, Hermoso. Queen Guinevere was next in, and they were followed in by Oakle Tree. Hasty Departure, French Gypsy, Gamine, Delmator, Sunshine Sally, Palace News. Courts are never in it. Then Blue Music, Grand Fun, Pure Talent, Plush Marie, Golly's Gal back towards the rear with one of the other bolters, and that was Senshu.
Well, how are they going to beat her in the Oaks, Dan?
They've got to find some way, because she just did it so easily with 57. She's going to meet all these horses on equal weight terms. She won't be giving weight to any one of them, and could not have been more impressive. She was always going to win.
All the way through the race, Jim Cassidy, he was trapped 3 wide early until he got to about the 1,200, and then he got into 1 off, and then he got pushed out 3 wide. His stablemate took him 3 wide on the home turn, and I thought, gee, Jimmy would be sort of thinking to himself, hang on a minute, I've got the stablemate inside me and I'm getting taken off the track a bit here, but he looked pretty confident, Jimmy Cassidy. He never really went for her hard till he got to the clock tower, and she answered every call on that he made on her. Here she comes now. She's just up outside of the stable, mate. And Jimmy Cassidy's just starting to work her along a bit on the outside of La Tristia. A great ride on the inside by Mick Dittman on a Little Kiss, so looked like he was going to pinch it for a while at the Wakefield Stakes, but you know, she's going to be the Oaks favourite, and I'd say she's going to be the Oaks winner.
Well, Bart again, John, and he's down in the mounting yard, and let's talk again to the Cups King for his 3rd winner on Derby Day.
Another brilliant win. What are you going to do, wipe up the program here today?
Well, I wouldn't say that, Gay, but I do think she deserved to win. She's probably the best filly in Australia, and I thought it was a very fitting trial for the Oaks.
Certainly was. I thought we had you beaten when we got the rails run, but she was just too good, your filly.
Gay, you should never underestimate me.
I never have, Bart. So congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Good. Thanks, Gay.
Gay Waterhouse
talking, sorry, Dan, I'm jumping in here, but Gay Waterhouse, whose father, Tommy Smith, and trains the second horse, A Little Kiss, and as Bart said to Gay, don't underestimate me, and I don't think anybody's ever underestimated Bart. He's won 7 Melbourne Cups. And what about the little jockey, Jimmy Cassidy? What a rider he is. Kiwi in 83, and he's been going ever since. We'll take a break. Derby time not far away here at Flemington. As the jockeys weigh in after the Wakefield Stakes. Race 4 on the program, won brilliantly by Tristan Arg, the big grey filly. Research won the race last year. She went on to win the Oaks. She went on to win the Sydney Derby. Correct weight. And Tristan Arg is now going to be favourite for the Oaks. She was favourite in the Wakefield Stakes. Let's see what she paid for 50 cents here in Victoria and all around Australia. $1.25 here and 70 cents. A Little Kiss $2. La Tristia $2.10. Quinella $9.70, and the trifecta $185 even for 1, 2 and 11. And for the presentation after the Wakefield Stakes, competing, and to the dismay of some of the owners, trainers and jockeys, 2 of the colts left the track and didn't complete the race. That first derby was won by Rose of May for stake money of £100. Today, the race is called the Hong Kong Bank Victoria Derby with prize money of $753,000. And it has developed into one of the most prestigious and significant derbies in the world. It's a classic race based on the classic races of England. A race for 3-year-olds at set weights over a distance of 2,500 metres, a little more than 1.5 miles. The Derby has been won by some of the greatest champions of the turf, including the immortal Farlap, Comic Court, Tulloch and Dulcify. But the 3-year-olds are not the only champions who win the Derby. The Classic has been dominated by 3 of Australia's greatest trainers, Colin Hayes, Bart Cummings and Tommy Smith. Colin Hayes took the honours last year with a horse called King's High. And so it is, the Victoria Derby, a classic race for classy horses. And this year, the Victoria Derby worth $753,000. A lot of money, and speaking of money, let's have a look and see what the horses are going to pay in Victoria for 50 cents on the tote. Stylish Sentry $2.10, Zamoff $4.60, Procol Harum $15.10, Stargazer $9.05, Dr. Grace still the favourite at $1.50, so that is a surprise. Interstellar $3.60, Counterfeit $3.45, Albard $9.40. Will Colin Hayes do it again as he did last year? Lord Chamberlain $19.20, and some of the outsiders over the page. Coyote got at 21, Opalette 41, Firezam 41, and Connor Villa, who's won just one race, a maiden at Mount Gambier, $116, but rubbing shoulders with the elite here today at Flemington. Everybody on course has got a tip. There are a lot of celebrities. Let's see who they're going for in the Victoria Derby.
Mr. Hawke, who do you like in the Derby?
No, I'm very embarrassed about this. I have a 100% record in television tipping. You know, you picked a race which I think is almost impossible to talk with.
Well, you've got to have a stab.
Well, I'll tell you what I think the chances are. Then we'll try to make a decision.
Good.
Stylish Century, Dr. Grace, Counterfeit, my good friend Hayes Albag, you know, got a bit of a chance. If I have to really have a pick,
Got you now. If I thought I'd have you on the road.
Dr. Grace each way. Dr. Grace each way, but it's a very hard one.
A well-known TV star and producer, Johnny Young. Johnny, what do you like in the Derby?
Well, my heart goes with Stylish Century, but I think Counterfeit, because of his brotherhood to Bone Crusher, has got to be a really good chance. So my money will be on Counterfeit.
Why is your heart with Stylish Century?
I just thought his run in the Cox Plate was fantastic, and he's a beautiful horse, well trained, and I think has probably got the right date for it too. It's a beautiful day and it's a lovely horse, but Counterfeit, because of Bone Crusher, could be another Bone Crusher for me.
Thanks, Johnny Young.
Thank you
very much. For well-known actor Derek Nimmo, what do you like in the Derby?
Well, I've only flown in through the night from Hong Kong. I went to Cox Plate last week, and unfortunately, Sheikh Hamdan's horse has been scratched, but I think I would go for Dr. Grace.
Around the side by the riverside, and then about a mile to go, and home they come, and the first horse today will collect $487,000. Well, Peter and Graham, often the excitement before a big race not only gets to the owners and trainers, it gets to the horses.
About two to move up. Fire Zam and Procol Harum. Magnificent race. So much prestige involved in winning the Derby. $753,000 in prize money. John, a final comment from you. The race is open, I suppose, for a Victoria Derby. There's no standout. And who's your tip?
Well, I do like the Bart Cummings trained Interstellar, because I think it'll be run as a true stayers race with Stylish Century making it that way.
All set to go. Victoria Derby, and they're off and racing. Let's look. Stargazer, one of the best out from Counterfeit. That's Bone Crusher's brother. Zamoff wider, followed by Conavila. He might try and lead. Dr. Grace went to fifth, and then Procol Harum, Stylish Century. Lord Chamberlain over on the fence. Then Kiowa God, followed by Opalette, Elbarg, Fire Zam, and last of all was Interstellar. Going out of the straight now, 2,100 metres to go, and Counterfeit in front leads by a length. The pace not all that quick. Zamoff went to second. Stargazer, a stablemate of Counterfeit, goes to third. A half length away, Conavila, one of the real bolters. A length and a half to Stylish Century, not leading today. Dr. Grace on the inside, 2.5 lengths to Lord Chamberlain. Procol Harum going up on its outside. One to Kiowa God, then the stablemate Elbarg. Opalette on the inside of Interstellar, and Fire Zam last of all, and Stylish Century let go is going to take over the front running. Going to the 1,500 metres point in the Cox Plate, runner-up Stylish Century takes over. He leads by a length now. Counterfeit second, a half to Conavila. A length and a half away then a Zamoff and Stargazer. 2 lengths away Dr. Grace in sixth position. Then Procol Harum, followed by Lord Chamberlain on the inside. A length away Elbarg, followed by Opalette on the rails. Fire Zam was wide, then Kiowa God and Interstellar last of all, about 10 lengths off the lead in the Hong Kong Bank Victoria Derby, and Stylish Century leads. He's 3/4 of a length in front. Conavila second, a half length away Counterfeit, every chance. He's had the run of the race. A length away Zamoff fourth, and Stargazer fifth. One away Procol Harum. On the inside, Dr. Grace and Fire Zam wide. Then Elbarg, Lord Chamberlain. Interstellar about to go forward. Kiowa God second last, and Opalette at the rear, 12 lengths off the lead. 1,000 metres to go on the Derby, and Stylish Century by a length. Conavila under a little bit of pressure. Counterfeit the inside. Stylish Century opens up a break of 2.5 lengths. Counterfeit gets to second. Zamoff starts the run on. Conavila drops out of it. Then Stargazer followed by Procol Harum. Elbarg next, and then came Dr. Grace. Interstellar wide. Lord Chamberlain. Fire Zam well back. Kiowa God and Opalette last of all. 600 metres to go, and Stylish Century about to lead into the straight in the Derby. It's Stylish Century by a length and a half. In second placing was Counterfeit, followed by Zamoff. Stargazer. Interstellar hooked out wide from Procol Harum. Then came Dr. Grace at the 400. Stylish Century kicked away 2 in front. Coming at him, Counterfeit. Zamoff running on strongly. Then came Dr. Grace at the 250. Stylish Century still 3 lengths in front of the Derby. He's kicked away from Zamoff. Counterfeit, I think he's got it one. Stylish Century, he'll have to stop quickly. He's 3 lengths in front. He has got it one. And Stylish Century's going to win the Hong Kong Bank Victoria Derby by 3 lengths. Zamoff second, third on the outside, Dr. Grace. Then Counterfeit, Interstellar, Elbarg. Stargazer next in, and they were followed home by Procol Harum. Opalet, Lord Chamberlain, Kiowa God, Firezzam and Conavila has finished up at the rear of the field in the 1989 Hong Kong Bank Victoria Derby, and what a run, John Letts.
Well, what a great ride by Kevin Moses too. Everyone, I think, that was here at Flemington today thought he'd go straight to the lead on Stylish Century. He sat back till they went down to about the 1800, went to the lead very easily. You could see the pace was nice and even, and no one wanted the front, took him to the lead, and he just dictated his turns from then on. Zamoff was a great run in second place. Very well ridden by Johnny Marshall. I thought a horse that didn't have much luck was Interstellar. He got back a long way. He was 3 and 4 wide racing to the 1400 right around the big turn. He's finished within about 5 or 6 lengths of at the line, but no excuses for any horse really behind the winner. He was just too good on the day. Dr. Grace, another great run. He's performed again as he did in the Caulfield Cup. Take nothing away from the winner, he was the best horse on the day. He was getting a little bit weary on the line, but he'd done all the bullocking up the front, and he deserved the win.
And how fast is the track? They went very slow early for the first 600 metres. 2:34.2 was only 0.7 outside the track record.
Well, they were only at a leisure pace early, Dan, and they only clapped the speed on. I'd say Kevin Moses, when he went to the 600 across the crossing, he'd be smiling, and he'd be, well, the 800, he went across the crossing, and he'd be smiling, saying, well, nothing's taken me on. There he is. He's only had to work in the straight Stylish Century, and he's just been too good for them. Nothing making any ground. The horse in the gold colours on the outside with the breastplate, Interstellar, I thought was a little bit unlucky, but he had to cover a lot of ground on the corners. But the winner, it was all there, and he done the hard work, and he's won the race. And run it again, and I don't think anything can beat him anyway.
I think we're going to expect a lot more of Stylish Century, the way he won today, and he's running the Cox Plate. They were runs by a really top-class horse, and it's great to see a champion 3-year-old. We'll call him that. He certainly was today, because he murdered them in the biggest race of all, the Derby. Stylish Century, he'll be around for a long time to come. Brilliant win.
Dan, when you look at it, we had the favourite for the Melbourne Cup. He beat him ahead the other day, and the punters rallied today to Dr. Grace, and here's a horse that was beaten by the Melbourne Cup favourite in the Cox Plate, beaten by Elmerad, and he comes out in the Derby and runs at each way odds. It's incredible, isn't it?
It is. And be lucky if he got on him. Great reception for Stylish Century. That was his 7th win from 17 starts, and over the almost 500,000 in prize money puts him well past the magical $1 million mark. Stylish Century, magnificent ride by Kevin Moses. He always knew he had the best horse in the race, and from about the 300 it was evident he was going to win the Derby. There was only 3 or 4 lengths behind him, and the horses behind him were struggling. Great reception. Must be a great feeling. You know what it's like, 1975 and Galena Boy.
It's a fantastic feeling, and a horse like Stylish Century, he races a little bit like Vogue, and you know, when you come to Melbourne and you see the people in Vogue in Melbourne, they love Vogue, and now here's a horse that gets up the front, does all the work in the race. As you said, the time was fantastic time, and the Melbourne people just seem to love him. They just want him to keep going, and this is what Stylish Century, he hasn't let him down, and Kevin Moses must be very proud. Like, he's looking there today at $753,000, and it's a lot of money for a racehorse to win in one race, isn't it?
Well, let's go down to Peter Donegan, talk to the winning trainer, Bill Mitchell. He's only had the horse for 2 runs, and he must be wrapped.
Well, I'm sure he is, Dan. And Bill, how does it feel to have won the Derby?
Feels very nice, yeah, good.
Were you worried when he missed the kick just a little bit, because obviously the plan was going to be to race him up near the lead?
Well, yeah, it was we didn't need it, and the main thing was that we didn't take hold of him. He just kept running. You know, he likes to be just allowed to run, I think.
You seem pretty calm, cool and collected, but I bet you're not inside.
I'm very happy, very happy.
Any thoughts about running him in the Melbourne Cup at all?
I have to discuss it with the owners, but I would doubt it.
And, well, where does he go from now?
I'd say he'll probably spell for the autumn now. We'll have to have a meeting and see where we're going.
Finally, is this your crowning moment in racing?
Well, it hasn't always been my horse, so perhaps, you know, I don't deserve all the credit, but it was certainly a great moment for me.
Bill, congratulations. Go and enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Geez, calm, cool and collected for a young fellow, Bill Mitchell. In the background there is a Bart Cummings trained Stylish Century when he won the Champion Stakes about 4 or 5 weeks ago at Randwick, on the same day that Bill Mitchell won the Epsom with From the Planet. The horse had 1 run in Victoria for Bart. The connections took him off Bart and gave him to Bill. He went to the Cox Plate and ran second to Almerad, and today he's won the Derby. Now, they can pay a late entrance fee into the Melbourne Cup. I think it's $50,000, something like that, if they want to run in the Melbourne Cup. The other Melbourne Cup news from that race is that Interstellar had to finish in the first 4 to run in the Melbourne Cup. But I can tell you he's dead heated for 4th with Counterfeit. So I would think that he's got himself into the Melbourne Cup if Bart wants him to run into Stella. We've just heard Bill Mitchell say he doubts whether Stylish Century would run in the Melbourne Cup. But Gibbo, the thing is, it's falling away a bit with Almirad, Apollo Run and Hunter. It could be a temptation now to run him in the Melbourne Cup.
I'm going to say you take out the top two, you got Empire Rose now, Richie, they're the two everybody's going to want them back. The rest of the field isn't what you'd call top class. But the interesting thing about that race to me was there's Kevin Moses going back, and Graham Kelly's with him right now. Kevin Moses, not a battling jockey, but not one who's won a great many big races. Here he is with Graham.
Well, Kevin, how was that? It made it a little bit hard from the stands. He missed the start and then had to go wide and looked as though he tried to run off about the 800 metres.
He's used to going home there, and he's done it at every gallop, but it wasn't too bad.
Once he got to the front, there were no worries then.
Well, I didn't want to go hard early. Everyone thought that I was going to go hard early. I had doubts whether he'd get the 2500, but I knew if I could hold him up a little bit, they wouldn't catch him from the 5 home, and it went my way.
You didn't miss the start purposely, though, did you?
Oh, certainly not.
No, that wasn't part of the plan.
He has done it his last 4 or 5 starts. Cummings had him, and he didn't want him to lead. And they were coming out of the stall steady on him. And naturally, he's a front runner. He just got sick of being held from the start.
He did seem to be travelling well, though. Once you've gone about 100 metres, he seemed to be travelling nicely. He wasn't pulling? Or...
Never pulling, no. He didn't pull the other day. I probably let him run a little bit quick the other day, but I thought with the 48.5 on his back, I've got to make him catch me. Today I just held up a little bit.
And what sort of a thrill was that? It was nice come back after the Cox Plate defeat.
It must be great to walk up there after the Cup win with all those people there.
Good, congratulations.
The Derby was good.
Good. The story of the Derby win from Kevin Moses.
Well done, Graham Kelly with Kevin Moses. As we've said at Flemington, fantastic day of racing. We've seen the best horses from around Australia and the McKinnon coming up shortly. But correct weight on the Victoria Derby with Stylish Century defeating Zamoff and Dr. Grace, 1, 2 and 5. And let's see what Stylish Century paid on the totes all around Australia. And in Victoria, 210 and 90, so he's very well back. That's about 13 to 4. Zamoff $1.10. Dr. Grace 80 cents. Penilla was $6.65, and the trifecta 38.85 on 1, 2 and 5. There's the scene in the birdcage area after the Victoria Derby, and to make the presentation for the...
In the ring will make that 12s. It'll come in 10 to 1 Golden Carrioi, 12 Bistro Miss. Engracing is out, 16 Zipper Moore, 25 Lost Gold, 100 Captain Jeremy. I made it. Here's John.
Well done. All set. Starter on his stand now, and they're ready to break, and the stall's open, they're away. Captain Jeremy a little flat-footed at the start. Gold Mace began well, and so did Zipper Moore. Remember Peter is quickly into stride. Bistro Miss wide out is striding up to join those leaders, and even deeper Spinning Wagon is pressing on. At the head of the others, Stellantic, followed by Mint Machine, and then Golden Carrioi, Lost Gold, Captain Jeremy and Nosh, and last is Miss Amazer. To the back at the 1500 mark, Bistro Miss is being pressured now by Golden Carrioi on the outside as they sweep into the back straight. Spinning Wagon, rather it is, and Spinning Wagon takes a narrow lead now over Bistro Miss. 2.5 lengths away, Zipper Moore on the outside of Gold Mace, and Golden Carrioi is running 5th. A length away, Remember Peter, followed by Stellantic and Nosh together, and then Mint Machine, followed by Captain Jeremy and Lost Gold, and Miss Amazer last, about 10 lengths off the lead. Down the back to the 1000 mark, and Spinning Wagon forged to the lead from Bistro Miss, moving to 3rd, Golden Carrioi. A length to Zipper Moore in a good spot, and then Gold Mace on the inside of Remember Peter, who's travelling kindly. Nosh is 3 wide on the outside of Mint Machine and Stellantic, followed by Captain Jeremy, Miss Amazer, and Lost Gull went back to last. At the 700 mark, Spinning Wagon just led Golden Carrioi. 2 lengths away, Bistro Miss. Zipper Moore taken away from the fence now, and then Remember Peter, followed by Gold Mace and Nosh from Mint Machine, Stellantic and Miss Amazer, and the last couple as they come around the turn are Lost Gold and Captain Jeremy. Into the straight, Spinning Wagon and Golden Carrioi are the 2 leaders, clear of Bistro Miss, and Remember Peter is taking off around them, and then Gold Mace and Zipper Moore, who gave up quickly, and Mint Machine down the extreme outside is coming with a big run at the 200 mark. Many chances. They're right across the track. Bistro Miss has burst through to tackle Remember Peter. Mint Machine joining in on the outside. Bistro Miss and Mint Machine have come away. They're going to fight it out. Bistro Miss, in fact, is getting away from them. Mint Machine on the outside can't pick her up, and Bistro Miss beat Mint Machine. Stellantic late on the scene for 3rd in in front of Gold Mace, Miss Amazer, Golden Carrioy, and then Spinning Wagon, Lost Gold. Remember, Peter didn't handle the trip. Further back is Nos. Zippermore gave up quickly, and last is Captain Jeremy. A couple of disappointments in the race. Remember, Peter just couldn't handle the journey. But a good win to that filly. I thought she was going to drop out of the race at about the 800. She dropped off a length or so, but it was short-lived. She got going again and scored a gutsy win. 9, Bistro Miss, Chris William, to pay $13 and $3.70. Second is number 5, Mint Machine, Robert Thompson, to pay $1.80. And third, number 4, Stellantic, Matt Provato, to pay $5.20. And that's the results of the Tui's Dry Handicap on Wide World of Sports. Now, Kenny Callender in the upcoming race. Race 6 is very keen on number 4, Raise Your Glass, which is out of a mare called Long Swallow, as a matter of fact. Kenny Sutcliffe.
Good on you, thank you, Tappy. Back from the green turf to the bitumen here at Adelaide, where we had a fairly hot race just past with the Group N
campaigners have been to the barriers a few times, and it's just like going to have a feed down here for them. They just get in and away they go. But I like the way the Vo Rogue actually looks. I reckon he'll get out and run today. This is his type of track.
Let's leave your crackers. They're ready to go for the McKinnon. Dan Malicki.
The great mare Empire Rose will be the last one to link up. Won this race last year in devastating fashion before taking the Melbourne Cup. They're set for the McKinnon. 2,000 metre, $300,000 event. Lord Highbrow, Empire Rose stand up better. Lights on, away. Empire Rose missed it a half length. Vo Rogue, one of the first out, he'll try and lead. Eye of the Sky on his outside. Horlicks the inside with Research, and then Fleetwood Lad. Followed by Riverina Charm, King's High, Nay Rizzy wide, then Botto, Empire Rose. Getting back a bit, Lord Highbrow with Terrific, and a length and a half to the stablemate Superimpose. Vo Rogue in front, going by the 1600. He's raced out 4 lengths clear. Eye of the Sky goes to second, and then came Horlicks on the inside of Research, a length to King's High. Fleetwood Lad's out 3 deep, and Riverina Charm on the rail. A length and a half to Nay Rizzy, followed by Botto outside Empire Rose. A length and a half to Lord Highbrow. One away Terrific, and a half length to Superimpose. And he's 12 lengths off the leader, Vo Rogue, as they run by the 11.50. Vo Rogue by 3 lengths now, and second placing Eye of the Sky. Fleetwood Lad went up on his outside, a length and a half to Horlicks and Research. A length and a half back to King's High, outside Riverina Charm. 1.5 to Nay Rizzy. Then Empire Rose inside Nabotto. 2 lengths to Lord Highbrow, Superimpose, and 2 lengths away Terrific, and Vo Rogue's open up with a big break. 950 metres to go on the McKinnon Stakes, and Vo Rogue led by 5. Second was Eye of the Sky, a half to Fleetwood Lad. Horlicks 4th, Research 5th. 2 lengths to King's High, Riverina Charm. 2 lengths away, Empire Rose getting closer. Then Nay Rizzy followed out wider by Nabotto. Superimpose well back. Lord Highbrow second last, and Terrific at the rear. Vo Rogue in front, 600 to travel. Vo Rogue by 4 lengths. Researchers going up the chase. Then Fleetwood Lad, King's High starts to run on. Eye of the Sky was next. Then came well back Riverina Charm. Empire Rose about 10 lengths off them. And Horlicks is now into the clear. 450 to go. Vo Rogue shaken up by Cyril Small. Led a length and a half. Second Research. Third King's High running on Horlicks. Empire Rose getting through. Down to the 300. Vo Rogue under the web. King's High comes at him with Research. Here's Horlicks on the outside, and Superimpose flying from Empire Rose. Vo Rogue in front. Horlicks goes up on the outside with King's High. Horlicks and King's High. Horlicks is just in front of this great New Zealand mare's going to win the McKinnon. Horlicks a half length to King's High and Vo Rogue. 4th in was Superimpose, and the run of the race was Empire Rose. She ran 5th. Then came Research, followed in by Fleetwood Lad, Lord Highbrow, Riverina Charm, Terrific, Nabotto. Second last, Eye of the Sky, and Nay Rizzy's actually been last over the line.
Favourite for the Melbourne Cup now, Dan, with Empire Rose and Horlicks. What a great win, but it was interesting to note earlier in the day, Interstellar went the last half mile in 47 seconds when she won the Wakefield Stakes, and Horlicks has run the last half mile in 47 3/4. So Interstellar's run 3/4 of a second faster than the Weight for Age horses today. But it was a great win, and oh gee, I think she's going to be nearly elevated to equal favourite with Empire Rose. Empire Rose, a great run though. I worked her out from about the 1400. She was giving the lead of Vo Rogue, I'd say 14 or 15 lengths. And did you see her getting home over the last 100 metres in the pack?
She really flew, and the time's actually a new track record, a best metric time record, helped along, of course, by Vo Rogue, but the name that'll go down in the race book is Horlicks, and she's a very attractive sight especially for a grey, because it's not often you can really tell how good they look, but she's a steely grey in colour. And what have we missed out on in the Cox Plate last week? Of course, she was scratched. There was nothing wrong with her today, and that is a run.
Well, she came over